guys, Linda back again with Nikki for part 3 of crate games. This part is about building time in the crate. Duration is what we call it. So what I like to think about for this piece of it is I want to build on the positive association that we've already given our dogs with the games that we played in there. Now I want them to start thinking, boy, this is really special that I'm in my crate, and I want them to be in there a little bit longer. I think a lot of us fall into that trap of feeling guilty when we're at home and we have puppies or we have adolescent dogs, and we think if we're at home, they should be out of the crate. But the truth of the matter is they shouldn't, unless somebody's watching them 100% of the time, okay? So, it's true for young puppies, it's true for adolescent dogs, because they can get into trouble, right? So I want to make this, I'm going to use it as a management tool, and I'm going to build and expand on that positive association. So I'm going to show you a couple products that I like to use for building time in the crate. So this is the classic Kong, right? It's been around for many, many years. Has a hole on the bottom here, has a small hole on top. And the Kong company has biscuits you can buy to put in here. They have their own Cheese Whiz that you can buy to put in there. You can put some of your dog's kibble in here with a little rim of peanut butter perhaps, and give that to them. So, tried and true, around for many, many years. There are lots of other products on the market now. One of my favorite ones from Kong is now this Quest bone. It has a deep groove in the middle of it. It's that hard rubber, just like the original Kongs. It's got holes here. And so what I like to do with Nikki is I put a little bit of kibble in here. I might put a little bit of his treats in here. I don't have to put a whole lot in there. And I fill it up with plain yogurt. Then I freeze it. So when I give this to Nikki in his crate, it'll take him a good 20 to 25 minutes to finish this. I like to do this in the crate because as it melts, it's going to get messy. So I want an area that I can clean up and clean up fairly easily. So this right now is one of my very, very favorite ones. And it's called a Kong Quest bone. So that's that one. Now I'm going to show you one that's a little bit newer on the market, and this is called a snuffle mat. And the snuffle mat has the ability to feed some treats in. You can feed an entire meal in it. It is, and you can tell Nikki knows exactly what this is, and he's like really excited. It has little pieces of cloth. I can show you on the bottom, it's sort of woven up. And you can hide treats deep down into the knots of the material. Okay? So, I like to give it to him in his crate. Right? So, we're going to go to our crate. And actually, I can tell him, Kennel. So he's right there. He's waiting for it now. And I'm just going to put it in the crate with him. I don't, for Nikki, need to close the door. He's not a dog that's going to pick it up and walk away with it. He's going to hunt now for all of those pieces of kibble that I've put in there. It uses the dog's natural ability to hunt for things. We're using their nose. Natural instincts for them. Depending on how many pieces of kibble you put in there, it can occupy them for a long time. So this is called a snuffle mat. Some people like to make their own. I love it. I love it especially for young dogs. So he's just getting in every little groove. You can really see him hunting. And he continues to hunt because so far he's been rewarded pretty well for it. So that's the snuffle mat. Going to take a little break and I'll be right back with one other thing I'd like to show you. Bye. Hi guys, Linda back with Nikki. This is the other product I wanted to show you. It's called a treat and train. Sometimes it's called a manners minder. And it's a remote reward system. So it allows us to reward our dogs without having to be right next to them. It has a number of controls inside. I've got it on right now. It's battery operated. It has a remote dispensing unit, also battery operated. We have different volumes for the beep that comes on. You can set it to come out every 30 seconds if you want to, every 15 seconds if you want to. So it's really sort of a nifty training tool. So I'm going to show you how you would first start a dog on this. Nicky knows this, so he won't have problems going over and eating out of the bowl here. Some dogs might. So what you're going to do is first put it down on the ground, and I'm going to put some kibble right in the bowl. And the dog's going to eat that. If your dog is reluctant to come over to the treat and train, or reluctant to eat out of the bowl, I might use a little bit higher value rewards then. Just in the beginning is probably all you'll have to do. So he has no problem with that at all. So I've turned the volume off, and so now I'm going to remotely reward him by pressing this. You'll hear it come out of the machine. And it drops a treat right in there. So that gets the dog used to the sound of the treat and train dispensing food itself, rather than us putting food in the bowl. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume on, and I'm going to put it on low, the lowest one of all. Now you hear a little beep when the food comes out. So I can reward him for looking at the bowl when he starts looking at the machine. I can reward that if I want to. I can reward him for looking at me. Nicky. So the little beep takes the place of your yes. Nicky. As soon as he looks at me, I'm going to beep him. Nicky. So I'm going to show you one other thing. I'll be right back. I'm going to take the bowl off of it. I want to show you one other piece of this. Hi guys, just a couple of other things I wanted to mention to you about the treat and train. Another use for it is to send our dogs to the crate with the treat and train in there and us be further away. We can reward them in the crate without us running up behind them. So I'm going to use it in this particular scenario for Nicky. All right, here we are again. Ready? Kennel. And then I would release him. Okay. It's gonna wait and see if it's gonna go off again. Good boy, Nick. Good boy. So I can send him from a distance. As soon as he gets in there, remember the beep takes the place of your yes. One other thing that I have done with him is in the car. He's got a crate in the car. And the problem I had with him in the beginning was that every time we drive somewhere and I get out of the car and I'd walk away, he'd bark and bark and bark and bark and bark. So I was like, I gotta be able to reward him when he's quiet, right? Because that's the behavior I want. But I had to be close by in order to do that. So I took my treat and train, the bowl that the food is currently falling into, the darker grayer part of the bowl there, that's detachable. So I took that off. And then what I did is I put it right on top of the crate here. So that when I left him, I'd walk away from the car. I said something like, I'll be right back. So I took a couple steps away. If he was quiet, I would reward him. I would walk a few more steps. If he's quiet, I would reward him. I did a little bit of distance at first, Finally, I was able just to say, I'll be right back, walk away. Maybe I click him one time. So there's many things you can use the treat and train for. It's just another great instrument for you to have in your toolkit. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.